Hi there guys, this is part 2 of prepping your image for engraving within Photoshop. But before that, let's have a quick intro first. So today's video can be found on softwaretraining.co.za. We make short and easy to watch problem solving videos, and we also have daily updates. Otherwise, back in the program here. Now, like I mentioned, this continuation of the Photoshop series we're doing, or not Photoshop, but rather on prepping your images for engraving. So now we've already got our layers set up here, so we've got a nice outline, but now what we want to do is we want to clean up the image. So in order to do that, we want to have our brush tool selected, which is B, the shortcut, our paintbrush. Our foreground must be set to white. There's many ways to go about it. I simply just normally keep Alt in, select a nice white area, and it's set. Then you also want to be able to set your brush size, which over here we can see we've got a few different options. You can also set your brush hardness and stuff. You can right click and do the same thing here. So you can set up the hardness and brush size, or what you do is use your open and closing brackets to adjust the scale. Then you simply just left click and start painting in. Now, if for some reason your bugs go over the head, like I mentioned in the previous video, you can simply just go to your eraser tool, seeing that we're on a separate layer, and setting your brush size, we can paint that back out again. Then go back to your paintbrush and carry on. So I'm just going to pause the video while I do this, seeing that it takes quite some time, but I'll be back with you guys now. Okay, now back in here, seeing we've cleaned up a bit, something to keep in mind is sometimes these small areas can be problematic. So what you want to do is you want to zoom in on the on these actual areas, set your brush, and then clean up between them as well. That way in your final cut it does not show up. Obviously, like I said, if you can even do it to here, like onto the line, which sometimes works nice, and then you come with your eraser afterwards and you just scale the brush a bit down and go quite tightly on this. You'll see that nice black rim goes back. And engraving, I should say within engraving, that's normally quite important. But I'm not going to go into too much depth on a nice cleanup. So this is just a sample of the process. So now once that is done, what I like to do is I will make a duplicate of this group. So right click it on the folder itself, go duplicate group, just say okay. And then I like to set this sometimes to multiply in case it was not dark enough. If I hide this little eye and put it back on, you can see how it really pumps up the darkness. So this will depend on your image, but this sometimes works quite well for me. Then what I'll do is I'll make another duplicate, or rather I'll sometimes select both of them with keeping shift in, or click one, shift click the next, and you right click, and then we want to go to merge layers. So now we've got a single layer, all those things. Then I'll duplicate this. I know it's a bit of complicated process, the end here, but it does bring good results. Then with a new duplicated one, I'm going to layer mode again, and then I want to set it to linear light. Now if I zoom in here on the image, you guys will notice with this on and off how it really cleans up the lines. And then once you have your image the way you like it and you've cleaned it up, you can still play with brightness of that if you want, but in general this will be good enough for engraving. Then you want to save your file, or rather export it. So I'll go to file, then we go to export, I'll go PNG, then I'll name my file whatever I want. I'll maybe just put here at the end, leave the name the same, and call it Engrave, and then PS for Photoshop. Save that, and then yeah, you've got a file now that's ready pretty much for engraving. Well, otherwise, if we head here to softwaretraining.co.za, you guys will notice we've got a variety of different softwares we do cover, and also you can isolate your search here on the top right. If you do not, however, find the videos you're looking for, just go here, request a training video, fill in the mini form, then we'll make that video for you. But otherwise, thanks guys for watching, and cheers.